In the future, we will be offering 4 tiers of content and 4 tiers of technique, 4 tiers of time standard technique solutions. We will have our beginner 12 and under BB content, our fundamental 10 through 12 AAA content, our advanced 13 plus AAA content, and then our national time standard content. Now, what you can expect from each of these within the beginner BB, within our beginner content, we want to think about this as the footwork of the stroke. Now, I grew up a hooper, which means that if you see a crossover, they're not just switching hands. There's a certain footwork and shifting of the weight and bending of the joint that happens that allows the crossover to be a fluid athletic motion that we see on TV in the NBA. But within that footwork, without that, we end up with a disjointed where I may crossover right, shift left, and now my hand cannot reach the ball. Okay, we must make sure the footwork of our strokes is correct. With butterfly in our beginner content, it is making sure that we understand the usage of the hips, controlling the hip extension, and making sure that our pull recovery timing with the breath and the hip extension is executed correctly. Not necessarily moving forward down the pull, but getting the timing down correctly. For backstroke, it is mastering the change of direction of the stroke, where we are going back behind the back and then changing direction to make sure we are utilizing that push-up, pull the bicep in strength that you're getting from your athletes, that you are getting in that your athletes are getting in their dry land. For breaststroke, it is making sure that we are not over pulling and that we are traveling in a flat line down the pull or as close to a flat line as possible. And then with our freestyle, it is making sure that we are mastering the pull recovery extension, the pull reach recovery timing. Which each of these 4 concepts will give the athlete the constraints they need to tap into higher level skills inevitably. But for the rare few that it doesn't, they will be able to learn how to tap into some higher level skills as they move on up to the fundamental 10 to 12 AAA content. Here we are focused on producing propulsion to achieve high level performance. For all strokes, this would include the high elbow catch. For butterfly, it is developing the appropriate pull line of utilizing the shoulders to the appropriate pull line. We've called it an hourglass. Some people will call it something crazy like air train plane. Making sure that we are utilizing the correct pull pathway. For backstroke, it is making sure that change of direction pathway results in a high elbow catch. Freestyle high elbow catch. The breaststroke version of a high elbow catch without over pulling, and the sprint timing for breaststroke. From there, we get into our advanced content where we are now learning to create solid water. Solid water is important because it allows the pull to act as a literal anchor where we can see with the eyes and observe a swimmer's hand being stuck when they are pulling to such a degree that the body exerts that we can see the body react in a way to indicate a displacement of the body through the water versus the hand displacing through the water. And that is what I learned under David Marsh. Real swimming is moving the body down the pool, not moving the water backwards to move the body down, not pushing water backwards to create propulsion. Solid water is key to the advanced content, and what that means, we are now using the core to create strength. And then our final level, the national level content, is the squeezing the juice out of the orange, that last little few drops, fully optimizing the stroke to make sure your athlete can reach their individual talent ceiling. This is earmarked by in freestyle and backstroke, utilizing inside out swimming, using the core rotation and twist to move the hands through the water once that anchor in that solid water is created. For butterfly, is manipulating the water For breaststroke, it is fully optimizing the stroke by using gravity for speed instead of trying to swim forwards. And then for butterfly, and really for all four strokes, but butterfly, this is the only one that has its own specific has its own specific philosophy. It's learning how to remove yourself from thinking about swimming forward and how you can manipulate the body and close the space of joints to your core to create lift, to create propulsion, to minimize drag, and use the shapes you make with your body. Once again, this is specific to fly as well. Using the shapes you make with your body to make the water move you forward down the pool. So in each of these tiers, you will find catered skill targeted towards certain individual time standards, two that are organized by the age group's motor skill ability. Now, with the fundamental 10 to 12 content, this is the content that I have found is typically taught from 18 and under, so that high school age and down. With our advanced content, this would be the content you would learn when you get into the right college focused on creating power. But I've also discovered that this content is applicable to the motor skills of athletes aged 13 and up. And then our national level content is what you will find when you get to that pro level, where athletes are going to these high level meets and talking to other high level athletes who are the best in the world, picking their brain and adding elements of their stroke to their own individual game. And right now, at the price of $59, you can get grandfathered into all of this content as it is made and as it is delivered forever. If you leave and you come back, you can get you're still locked in. Once this price gets over the $59, everybody else will be paying whatever the increased rate is. The $59, and those of you who got into the $39 are the only people who will be grandfathered in at this price level. So get in quickly. We have as of June 1st, 2024, we have 25 spots left over. Make sure we have 25 spots left. Get in while you can.